At the onset, I would like to thank SRIVT's team, and especially to two persons, Shastri ji and Kavya. Kavya for introducing me to a very learned authority, A.B.A. Shastri ji. And of course, along with it came the whole SRIVT team, which has given me so much input about the Indian knowledge system. I'm very much obliged to you. It's been nearly, I think, little more than 2 years since we have come in contact with SRIVT, and especially this 25-year celebration and the superb lectures that they have been arranging. I'm very obliged for that. And I give my hearty blessings to this team to go to further heights in future. In the beginning of NASADIYA SUKTAM, a question is the quest for knowledge. I would like to say, why did I add this title, question is the quest for knowledge. One of my guru, Everett Arhard, he told me that, Madhu, if you live in question, then only you will learn. If you live in answer, you will not learn. And he showed me a pen. He said, what is it? I said, it's a pen. So he said, that is living in an answer, not in a question. So you should have now asked me, what is it made of? Is it metal or plastic? Does it have blue ink or red ink or green ink or any other ink? What's the duration? It can be which company makes it? How much does it cost? What is the market for it? Are there any other companies producing pen? Then you come to know things, how it is being made, how it is produced. This Suktam gave me the same thing, reminded me about the Werner Erhard's teachings that I had. That question is the quest for knowledge. And this NASADIYA SUKTAM, it is a part of 10th Mandal of Rig Veda, and it has only 7 shlok, but each shlok in itself can take a whole lecture. But condensing it is a really hard job. But as I said, I have a very meager knowledge. I did not have real guru of Veda. It was Swadhyaya that I came in contact and continued with it. So let me tell you how I have perceived NASADIYA SUKTAM. According to me, it should have been, Vedya should have put it as the first bundle. But when I went through this, and after that Parush Suktam, and after that Hiranyagarbha Suktam, I realized that no, if they would have given it right in the beginning, people would have ended in confused state. So this was in the last mandal, and perhaps that's why they did it like that. So it's a hymn of creation. It's a sukta of creation. But how creation came, existence came, So NASADIYA word comes from the word na asi, and which means it did not exist. So, and what did not exist? We will go through that. So what I would like to do is take each shloka, look at its meaning, and see, this is one thing that about the Vedas is that you can see it through the window of science, through the window of religion, through the window of philosophy, through the window of spirituality, as per your, understanding. So whenever I read translations of NASADIYA Sukta, different people have translated it in a different way. I'm going through it first just as a word translation, and then what I could perceive. And in the end, I would like to compare it with the modern day scientists' approach about the creation of universe. So the first shlok is Na sadasi no sadasi tadani nasi drajjo no vyoma paroyat kimavari vah kuhakasya sharman va kimasid gahanam gabhiram. That means there was neither nor existence nor existence. So there was no space or nothing above or below, no sky. This is what the word Vyoma means. I have translated it as a sky. So there was no sky. Then it questions what covered it. Where was it? This an existence or non-existence? In whose protection? Who was having it? Was there water? They say Gahanam Gabhiram. It could mean plasma also. So was there a plasma or water, deep and unfathomable or being incapable of being fully explored or understood? This was a big question that they pose you. So the first shloka itself is taking you into question, and everybody has answered in their own way. So the first sentence talks about existence, whether there was or whether there wasn't. And the second one, it was where it was, in whose production it was there plasma, etc. So if you condense it, the initial stanza paints a picture of complete emptiness and uncertainty, a state where the very concept of being and non-being are undefined. It confuses you, and the essential component of the natural world as we understand them are missing. So when we say universe, there are a lot of things that comes into my mind, but they are taking us into a very different realm. Then we come to the second sukta. Namrityaasidamritam na tarhi naratriya ahan asit praketah आनीतपातं स्वधया तदेकं तस्माद् धान्यन्न परः किञ्चनास. So this means neither death nor immortality was there. Now, this death is not human death or animal death or plant death as we know today. This death is about existence. This death is about pralaya, finishing, nor immortality, nor it was to be continued forever. No sign of night or day. So there was no light, there was no darkness, and that one breathed by its own. That one is the universe by its own nature without air. So this air is not oxygen. They are having a very different concept. Besides that, there was nothing else. So what it says, what we are talking about, existence and non-existence. Then second shlok confuses it to you and puts you into another question. Otherworldly force that animates the cosmos in ways eluding human comprehension. Our comprehension of animation or of being alive is different, but what they mean that each and every entity that existed in universe was animated. And as I said, that even an atom or even an electron, even a string, they are all in motion, vibrating motion or rotatory motion. So that motion itself is a form of animation. So within a domain where the ordinary boundaries of life and mortality dissolves, this solitary entity weaves existence itself. We have to look at this word solitary. Initially, things started with a very simple, uncomplex universe entity, which eventually ended up into the complex formation of the universe. So what it now it comes, initially it says that there was no light and no day. But now in the third shlok, it talks about the darkness. They said that first there was darkness, but it starts another question and confusion that darkness was hidden by darkness. The universe was undistinguishable because whatever was hidden and with whatever it was hidden, that was very difficult to understand for our present day knowledge. And I still think that though the word salilam is used there, but I still feel that they must have meant plasma, because salil is not only the water that we have a concept of. So that which becoming by the void was covered, and the one by the force of heat came into being. This is very important. Second sentence. It talks about tapas. Tapas means heat. So heat is coming into the being. Now we also note that at the beginning of Big Bang, heat had a very small, important role to play. So that heat was the cause of initiation of liveliness. And if you remember, the Nad Brahma theory, the origin of universe through initially where it indirectly explains the existence of nothing, as the Yajurveda says, Shatpat Brahman says there was existence of nothing. But for coming into force, first energy that was required is called tapas. So the darkness was there, but it was not visible darkness because it was covered by darkness. Very difficult to understand. All this was a signless ocean. So there was an ocean. That's why I use the word water in translating it. But there was a void. There was some emptiness, something that was not there when the thing coming into being was concealed by emptiness. And then comes the power of heat, and it generates the animation. So this work contemplates and it gives an answer to the primordial expansion from a darkness and darkness which was enfolded by darkness. It was a base of profound mystery. From this obscurity emerges the one, the primal cosmic principle, the genesis attributed to the fervent heat of tapas. Perhaps metaphorical, this heat ignites a creative force giving birth to existence. So now from non-existence to existence, it explains. Next. The next shloka is about the desire that arose in it. So there was heat, there was some generation of life, but from where comes the desire? In the Purush Suktam, desire is explained very much in detail, but here it says that it was the desire or desire for the primal seed of mind of the universe or the creator of the universe, if there was any. That's how the sages have perceived it and seen it in, during their trance in their hearts. I would rather call it a trance, the bond of existence in non-existence. And next we'll describe what was it, existence, non-existent, that it was being bonded together. So this shloka is about desire and primal seed and then creation of existence. So desire shows cosmic mind, not like our mind or animal mind, but a cosmic mind, the universe's mind. Cosmos was taken very much as an alive or entity that could do all the functions. Next, please. So, if we conclude this fourth shloka, this introduces the concept of desire or primal will, and this manifests into consciousness. That consciousness was the cause of creation. I know science doesn't believe in consciousness at the moment in creation of cosmos or universe, but the ancient sages believed into it because it correlated, it created connection between existence and non-existence. This shloka is very interesting. It obliquely was extended their cord. So now they are talking about something which is joining the other. And if you take it just as a translation, that was there a below or above, because initially it said there was no space and nothing, but maybe with the creation started, the concept or the existence of above and below became, and seeds or the primeval seed that was there, that was one of the mighty force along with tapas, because that force created the potentialities of converting the energy, as the Parish Suktam explains later, into uh, existence or into the creation of universe. So the universe emerged from this complex interaction of existence, non-existence, of below and above, where the dimensions started having its existence or entity as an entity of the universe. So the universe emerged from this complex interaction, and from it arose the breath of life. So Jada to Chetan, that concept, it is the power that is described here. So the cord, it's the link which stretches across something that exists above. So from wherever it started, it did expand. It's not clear whether it expanded in all the directions, but it's clear that it expanded above. And the inherent power, there were places of seeds, there were powers, there was inherent force offering above to get converted into creation. Next, please. So the role of higher organizing principle or entropy is emerging here of life and the cosmos. So, entropy, that is always in a confused state, and it differs according to the state. It's almost as if there was higher entropy state and a lower entropy state. So maybe those two were above and lower that they are mentioning, and they are connected by a cord, which is some sort of bridge. And nowadays we are talking about the string theory, maybe something like that. I don't know. It's very difficult to explain. Next, please. Now, the before coming to an end, it says who really knows what was there. All that the suktas that we are explaining here, but who will proclaim it that this is what happens? Maybe sages saw it in the trance, but who really knows it? When was it produced? When did the universe happen? When the creation happened? Did God come after that? Because God existence is not mentioned anywhere before. So God came after the creation of a universe. Then who knows when it has arisen? God doesn't know, because God concept comes after that. So this is a very, very thought-provoking shlok. It really, when it says ki who knows, who shall proclaim, from where it was, and how it started, and when it started, and when it started getting manifested, and when it was manifested, we created Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, and all that. That concept also comes in Veda. But that manifestation, creation, who really knows it? Who can really tell us? We don't know. Next, please. So this shlok reflects a sense of awe and humility in the face of universe's mysteries. We start realizing that we don't know anything. Even if we talk about the hymn of creation, we don't know who, when, why, how created it. Some facts we are adding, but we don't know how. So it acknowledges the origin of universe, but it might have been beyond divine comprehension. Because it says there may not have been God at that time, because God came into existence when different types of powers were created, and each power had a different God. Vayu, Agni, Jal, all these gods were there. So very limits of knowledge and understanding, it puts into your mind. And then comes the time to meditate and try and learn it. Next, please. The last shlok is really mind blowing. When this creation has arisen, perhaps it formed itself, or perhaps it did not. What we believe now that it's all due to physics laws, or maybe it is not. The one who looks down on it in the highest heaven, only he knows. Now he says maybe there is something else apart from our universe, maybe indicating a multi universe theory. Only he knows. Or maybe he also doesn't know. He was also created with the one. So, it's a very agnostic concept that they are giving to our mind. So, this creation, from where it came and where it was produced, and if not, and who is the overseer or who is the creator, that is also a very big question. We don't know that him. Next para, please. Next slide, please. So the concluding verse encapsulates the hymn, and as I said, an agnostic and introspective spirit. It suggests that the ultimate truth about the universe or universe's origin might be unknowable. Even to the highest cosmic powers, they may not know. Those who embody the profound philosophical acceptance of uncertainty and the limits of human understanding, even they may not know. So, this is where it ends up questioning NASADIYA SUKTAM. If each question we take through the eyes of a spiritualist, through the eyes of a scientist, and start churning it, maybe we will get answer. Next, please. So, as I said, I am a scientist. So, I will go through the scientific concept, whether whatever we have read in NASADIYA SUKTAM, it is in agreement with the contemporary science or not. The first is the concept of primordial state. It assumes in the beginning there was a Big Bang theory which describes the universe emerging from a singularity. There was nothing. The Rig Veda depiction of a pre-creation world of a state of non-existence aligns with the idea of an initial state from which the cosmos unfolded. So we agree with the contemporary science, or contemporary science agrees with our Veda. And the role of energy, that energy is tapas or heat in creation. So this is another thing, because during Big Bang, if you talk about the quantum fluctuation stage, there was a lot of heat, and then it went into the darkness, what we call Brahma ka Ek Ratri, and in which he created everything. So temperature energy is very important. Actually, Rig Veda gives first importance to Agni. That's why the first shloka is Agni Mile Purohitam, is about welcoming Agni. The reason was that Agni had tapas, heat energy, Agni has light energy, Agni has sound energy, all three types of wavelengths Agni has. So temperature and energy is crucial in the formation of universe. And it is very well explained in Parish Suktam. Next, please. There is one more thing that we agree, as a scientist, we agree that emergence of complexity. Initially, what started was very simple homogeneous state. First nothing, then a simple homogeneous state, and which converted into complex and structured one. I think in my last lecture in SRIVT lecture series, I talked about it. And both the NASADIYA Sukta and astrophysics agree with it. But we in NASADIYA Sukta describe very many things in Hiranyagarbha and Parish Suktam that science doesn't describe. So the gradual process of cosmic evolution that we talk about as a scientist, that there were galaxies formed and a universe formed and different types of metals and gases and all that formed. All these are complex things. And then they had a union and they created the complex universe. Next, please. But there are disagreement. And one of the biggest disagreement is consciousness and the desire of creation. consciousness has not yet been perceived by scientists. I know all scientists in some way or the other are confused and meditate on it. But the thing is that they cannot prove, they have not been so far able to prove consciousness experimentally, so they are not agreeing with it. They feel that this creation of universe is without consciousness or without first seed of mind, and it's only the physical process, the law of nature, without invoking it, just happened. This is what the contemporary science believe. And the agnostic perspective, while him concludes acknowledgement of unknown and perhaps unknowable, that we don't know this or maybe we will never know it. But science doesn't believe in it. Science today still feels that one day we will get the answer. It may be the combined studies of many scientists, but one person to understand it, who has maximum of 100 years in human body to know the universe and the created universe, is really difficult. Sometimes I feel we were born ignorant, we will die ignorant, but our gray matters will go on in search of knowledge. Next disagreement that I could see it, next slide, please, is personification. You know, Agni Devta, they started Vayu Marudgan ho gaye. All these, that when they started talking about, this is not accepted to the present design. That uh, personifying things, that they say these are all natural cosmic forces phenomena, and this has got nothing to do as deities. So here, this is the biggest conclusion: the consciousness and personification. Maybe personification came a little later, when we started explaining Vedas. But what Ved Vyasji perceived must have been little different than our mind can perceive. Next, please. So, as I said, NASADIYA Suktam is taking us to singularity. Singularity is still something we all are trying to understand. We believe it's a hypothetical future point in time and which outstrips human comprehensions or control. It's entirely different thing. They say maybe the center of black hole, according to them, can be taken as the singularity point. Next, thank you very much.